how do you make a stone pathway for your lawn or landscape? In this video, we're going to talk about how to make a stone pathway through your lawn or landscape. If you need help with your landscape, I've got a free guide for you that you can get down in the link below this video. It will walk you through all the steps I use as a professional to save myself time, stress, and money. And I want you to be able to do that as well so you can spend more time and money with your friends and family and have less stress in your life in general. That sounds great, right? So go ahead and pick up that guide and make doing your lawn work easier than it's been up to this point. You might notice that we've already started on this pathway. It's got rocks in place, it's got limestone underneath it, but how do we start it? What we did is dug down 6 inches all the way across over the surface area of where our path was going to be going. And then we filled 4 of those 6 inches up with compacted limestone. That's going to keep our stones from just sinking into the ground or the soil from coming up over our stones as the years go on. What it's also going to do is it's going to provide a platform for those stones to ride during the freeze and thaw time of year. So very important if you want to keep your stone pathway around for a long time, is to put limestone base underneath it. Now we still have 2 inches left to go on our stone patio. Some of that time, your stones are 2 inches thick. That's a really thick stone. These stones are 1.5 inches thick, which leaves a 1/2 inch for more limestone to go underneath them and level them. And that's what we're gonna be talking about today, is once you've got your stones, once you've dug out for your path, once you've got that compacted limestone in there, how do you level the stones? And it's really simple. What you're gonna need for this project is a level, a broom, a shovel, a crowbar, a rake, and a little wheelbarrow full of limestone. The first step to leveling your patio is determining grade. I could just use a string line for this. In fact, normally that's what I would do if it were a large patio or a longer pathway. But instead, I'm gonna use a 4-foot level because it's a short enough path that I feel confident about that. So what I'm gonna do to start off is I'm gonna measure these 2 points of the stone, and I'm gonna make sure that the stone matches up with the concrete. I've already done this stone earlier, so I know that it is level. It is slanted properly down towards the lawn. And so now I'm working on this stone. When leveling a stone, you need to think in triangles. Even though this stone is a rectangle, how we're gonna level it is by using 3 corners of the stone. And for this, I'm gonna use corner 1, corner 2, and then the 3rd corner is directly in the center of the stone. And you might say, Hudson, that's a straight line. Yeah, it is. However, for the level of the stone, where the stone needs to be level across, is going to need to be in between these first 2 contact points and on the opposite side of the rock. So it could be anywhere in between here, but I'm choosing just the center because that works. So the first thing I'm going to do, I don't need the level for this, is I'm just gonna feel with my hand, and I'm gonna jam limestone underneath this rock. And I'm gonna do that till it's the same level as this stone right here. Push more limestone down, cram it underneath. And I'm just packing in on this corner, not all the way along here, because I don't want to fill in the rest of this before I have my 3 points of contact established and I know that the stone is level on its surface. Then I can fill in underneath to fill all those gaps and make it really sturdy long term. That feels good. This one needs a little help. That feels good. All right, now I'm gonna set my level on the lawn and then also on the stone up here. And this is where my shovel comes in. I'm going to take my shovel and I'm gonna lift it up until the stone touches the level. Oh, you see the level moving? Right there, that is level. And now I'm going to pack in underneath, just in 1 point until the stone stays just like that. Okay, right there, that's good. Now that I have my 3 points of contact established, they are level to the stone here and to the far side. I essentially have a stone whose surface is compatible with the slant between the concrete and the lawn. So what I can do now is just fill in the gaps underneath with loose limestone. So using my shovel, I'm going to put limestone around the edges of the stone. And then using my crowbar, I'm going to push that limestone as far underneath the stone as I can get it, without packing so much underneath that it raises the stone. That's called packer's creep, and it happens all the time. So you want to be careful of that, but you also want to fill those voids. So I'm going to pack gently until I feel good resistance, and then I'm just going to lightly tamp in the rest of the way. Now these stones are pretty small, but if you're using larger flagstones, then you're going to have to put a little more force behind your pack. Oh yeah, there we go. And for the final step, I'm just going to sweep this stone off. and sweep the next one off. Now I'm going to repeat this process with the next stone. With the last stone, what I can do is just bridge the gap here. Not sure if you can see that, but there's a huge gap right in between the level and the stone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flip this stone back, add a few scoops of limestone, and then start the process over. We'll see if we can't redeem some of this limestone over here. While I'm pulling limestone in from the side, I'm using only the cleanest stuff I can get. If there's dirt in it, that dirt's gonna decompose and it's gonna compact. And I don't want that because it will create voids and spaces between the rock, which will make it much less sturdy long term. All right, let's see how that sets. Oh yeah, that's much better. All right, and I'm just gonna pop a little more limestone along here. And there's your path. It's all level, but before we're done, there's a little bit of cleanup that we gotta do. Just sweep off the path, get it nice and clean, remove all of the limestone from the edges. And you don't wanna do too much, you just kinda wanna create a gentle slope away from the rock as far as removing your limestone, and you don't have to get every little piece out. But this much limestone will really mess with the pH balance of the bed in this area. So if you wanna plant flowers or plants up near the edge of this bed, that's gonna be a problem. If you do want to just mulch over this area, you're fine. But in general, it's better to clean up after yourself and make it look nice. And there you go. There's a nice pathway that leads you from your concrete patio all the way out into the lawn. So if you've got a project like this in your landscape or something just related and similar and you want to save yourself time, stress, and money on your project by doing it like the professionals do, then check out my free guide linked in the description below this video. Get that, download it, and print it off so you can save yourself on your next and every project you have in the future. And for more awesome resources, check out heyocreative.com, where I talk about how to do your lawn and landscape and save yourself time, stress, and money. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.